Welcome back to another episode of Cashing Out. I'm your host, Billy Alvaro, co-host Wayne Hartart. We are Easy Sell Property Solutions. We're located right over here in Holbrook, New York. You can find us online at easysell411.com, by phone 631-400-EASY. Cuz, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. How you, man?
I have been sick for a month. This is the longest sickness I've ever had. It's been a freaking month on and off. I can't take it. I want this flu out of the system, out of my body. Bronchitis. I'm dying. And that's my story. I can't even breathe. I'm like wheezing. I'm wheezing over here. Like I smoked a pack of cigarettes before I came in.
Now, that has nothing to do with the age, huh?
I don't want to hear about this 50 thing again.
But everybody's sick.
Everybody's dying.
It's actually disgusting. Everywhere you go, everybody's sick.
It's bad
People
out
wear
there.
masks everywhere. It's just unbelievable.
So if you don't know us, we are the handsome cousin couple over here that buys properties for cash all over New York, all over New Jersey, all over Connecticut. We've been doing this for what? Since 2010. You came in about 2011, 12. Yep. We've been doing this for 11, 12 years. It's all we know. It's all we do. We know real estate in and out like the back of our hand. And primarily when we're speaking on the radio, we're talking to people who are wanting to sell their property. But my cousin and I have been getting a lot of information, a lot of questions really from people who want to learn how to get into this business. And, you know, a lot of the questions we get, two of the biggest questions are, how do you guys find your deals? That's number one. Like, how do you go about finding properties? And then what do you do? How do you analyze it after you get it? So let's just look at the first part, right? I mean, this radio show, obviously we're out there, we're broadcasting, we're marketing, we're drawing a crowd. We have people that get interested in listening to what we're saying. And those people obviously call in, they want to sell their property. We interview them, we talk to them. But there's really two primary ways. I mean, there's multiple ways that you could buy properties, but there's two things you're going to need to do. You're going to either need to invest time, right, or money, or a combination of the two in order to make money in this business. So let's break into the first thing, time. Let's say you have really no money, but you have some time. What could a person do who wants to break into the real estate investing arena? What could they do if they have time to find properties? Let's spitball it. I mean, we don't rehearse this crap. Let's just talk.
And we do. And how many times? So we have something where we have actually people out in the field all day that are actually, we consider them whatever we want to call them, property finders, bird dogs, whatever they're doing. They're in the field and they're driving. They may have jobs where they have a little extra time. They're driving, and they're always, we call them drive for dollars, and we give them profits. We cut them into types of deals.
Sure.
We give a nice referral fee for that. So, folks, if you're out there, you're driving around, maybe you work for, it could be anything, UPS, FedEx, whatever you're doing, whatever you're out there, you're always seeing vacant properties, dilapidated, unkempt properties. You could see them. You see them either they might not always be boarded up. Some of them are, but you'll see the grass is grown. You know, it's overly grown. They're overgrown.
It's the number one way
apart.
to get into this business, and I'm glad you started off with that. It's
the
number one way. If you want to break into this business, the fastest, easiest, most cost-efficient way to make deals happen is to drive around neighborhoods and look for either dilapidated properties, grass is high, there's stuff in the front lawn, there's cars broken down, or properties that you know are absolutely 100% vacant. They're boarded up or they're posted. That is a gold mine list right there. Why? Why is it a gold mine list? Because you already know that people moved out, they vacated, maybe somebody passed away, maybe they lost it to foreclosure, maybe it was a divorce, whatever the situation was, they've picked up and they've gone, or you know they don't have money to fix up the property because it's so damn dilapidated that you have a very good chance to, if you know what you're doing and connect with these people, to get them to know, like, and trust you and make a deal happen. The fastest, easiest way to break into this business, if you have no money, is to start driving around neighborhoods. It's called driving for dollars. And you don't have to do the deals with us. We have a lot of people in the field, they're property finders. They find us the properties. But regardless, if you want to do this on your own, start going out there, create a list, get a map, figure out where you want to start driving, get a list of names and addresses, and then there's a whole process you have to go through if you want to start cultivating those names, those addresses into deals, right? So what are the steps? Think about this logically. If you're out there and you want to break into the real estate investing industry and you have no money, but you have time and you're driving for dollars, you find an address, what do you have to do? Yeah. You have to do some sort of reverse engineer to find out who's the owner of that property. Google, baby. Go to Google. Go to Facebook. Go to LinkedIn. Put their name in. Do a reverse merger search. You will find out so much information on the property's owner. Go to public records. Everything, just about everything that you could possibly imagine is public record these days. Yeah. You can find out, if the guy has a pimple on his ass. Let's just get right down to it. You can find out anything about anybody at any time with good old Google.
Yeah, it is
Google's your best friend.
Yeah, the internet right there.
The best friend.
Yep.
So what do you do now? All right, so now you're figuring out, all right, I found the property. You do your reverse engineer. You find out the person's name. You do some research online to find out their telephone number, their email address, their cell phone, their family members, and then you start dialing for dollars. You're not going to go knock on their door if it's vacant. Obviously, there's no door knocking there. You got to start dialing for dollars. You have to pick up the phone and start talking to people and getting your name out there and start dialing for dollars. When you and I got into this business, I was $14 million in debt. I had no money. I had time, but I had no money. All I did was cold call vacant properties to get them to sell me the property. And guess what it did? It built us a multi-million-dollar business, not overnight, over time.
Yeah.
It's a great way to break into this business.
Literally. Remember those days of how we started that mold infested office?
Yeah. We were sitting in a little shack of an office.
I didn't even have an office. I had a bookcase that separated us, and we just called. And everywhere we went, folks, whether or not he went on an appointment, I went on an appointment with him, we scoured and wherever that appointment was, we scoured a couple mile radius of that appointment, and we always found other vacant properties.
I'm going to think that people that are listening over the phone, just about 99% of them have some sort of a vehicle or a car, right? I'm sure they drive from point A to point B every single day. Take 10 minutes out of your day. Don't be lazy. Do what other people are unwilling to do and start driving for dollars. Now, is it the most exciting way? Are you using the best of your time? Are you getting the maximum? No, you're not. But you're starting with an activity. You know, a lot of people that get into this business, I have a lot of coaching students, and the one thing I found, I could teach them all the basics. I could teach them the fundamentals. I could lock them down so they know between A, B, C, and D exactly what they need to do, but they don't take action for one reason and one reason only. The freaking thing inside their head, the fear factor, the worry that they're going to screw the deal up holds them back. It's not until I kick them in their ass, straighten their head out to get them to understand you're going to make mistakes, you're going to fail, you're going to screw up, but you got to start taking action. The more action you take, the faster you take it, the more of it you take, the more you're going to fail, the more you're going to make mistakes, the more you're going to learn, and the more deals you're going to start being able to do. Guaranteed.
It really is amazing. It's the self-limiting beliefs. Because right now,
it's
look,
crazy.
We just gave people 2 or 3 systems. How many people are out there listening are saying, you know what, I'm going to write this down and actually go do this? Most people say, I can't do it.
Or they'll say they could do it, and then the fear and the worry.
The self-limiting beliefs allows them not. I mean, it's a proven system, folks. We're actually giving you some ideas of how you can go out and make some money.
System number one.
Are you going to take the action, like Billy's saying, and go do it? That's the problem. Are you going to go find the properties, and then you're going to go home and you're going to call them? And are you going to call one time and you're going to give up, or are you going to keep calling? Are you going to call every family member and say, listen, I need to find the owner of this type of property. I see there's a situation. I think I could help him out. Are you going to keep going?
You have to have an appetite for success, and you have to, when you get knocked down, you have to keep on getting back up, and you have to keep on pressing forward, because guess what? If it was easy, everybody would do it. Yeah. If everybody could look like a bodybuilder, everybody would take a pill and be in shape overnight. It takes time, it takes work, it takes money. It takes you consistently to do what you need to do on a daily basis in whatever the hell you're about to do in life. And this business is no different. All these gurus out there that say, work 2 hours a week from your laptop, make money. It's a bunch of crap. It's not. It's a simple business. You're interviewing sellers, you're finding discounted properties, you're buying them at a discount, and you're flipping them over for a profit. But it's not an easy business. It's not easy because guess what? You actually have to freaking work. Yeah. Like, you got to work, man. You got to get up off your ass, and you have to work and do something. It's not going to just happen to you. These fantasy people out there that just sell these courses telling you you're going to make $1 million overnight by doing nothing, by sending out a couple of emails, is crap. You got to work. If you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to do what other people are not willing to do, I'm guaranteeing you, eventually, not overnight, over time, you will become successful.
Yes. I agreed.
No doubt.
And Bill, let's look at this one. There's a lot of people that may or may not want to go out and they just want to find the properties. They may not want to go call and do that. How many people do we have on our list now that actually send us in properties and make an extra, sometimes $7,000 to $10,000 a month? Because they give us these deals. So folks, say you don't want to do this and you say, listen, that's just not for me, I want to call, but I just want to go find these properties and send them. We have a website. You can click on a link below. You can actually send this information. If it's a property that's not in our database, we're going to start calling. Our team's going to do it. If we close on it, sometimes it's $2,000-$3,000 referral fees, depending on what type of deal it is.
Right.
So we have guys that consistently earn an extra $10,000 a month sometimes on
just
top of their income just by bringing in deals.
And these are deals that they're really not even talking with the sellers at all. They're finding the properties, they're putting it in our list. So listen.
And then we give a nice referral fee.
I don't even have the website in front of me. How bad is that? We're marketing it. We don't even have it in front of me. If you want to get on that list, email. Just shoot me an email. Billy@maxreturnsrei.com. Billy@maxreturnsrei.com. Just put in a headline, vacant houses, how do I get started? Vacant houses, how do we get started? We'll get you on that list. We'll put you in touch with the person who's in charge of that department. We'll give you the website. We'll get you started. If you want to do this on your own, you don't want to utilize us, then you got to start working. You got to start doing things immediately, and you got to start doing things differently. So besides now the time side, where you're going out and you're investing time looking for foreclosures, looking for vacant houses, looking for dilapidated, you could also start networking. I mean, look, go to networking events, network with realtors, network with attorneys, network with estate attorneys, probate attorneys, divorce attorneys. If you have no money but you have time, you have to utilize your time the right way, and you need to start connecting with the right people that have an influence that can start driving leads in your way. That's the bottom line. You have the time, you have to invest it. Now let's flip over to the flip side to this. If you have time and money or some money that you can invest, there's a myriad different ways. There's a ton of different ways you can start driving in leads into your database that you can then start cultivating into deals. And so, we have a saying in the office, there's riches and niches. You can't go out there and expect to make, $100,000 to $200,000 or $500,000 a year in this, the way we are right now in this economy, trying to pluck deals off the MLS, at least in New York. In other states, in other areas, still off the MLS, you can still cherry pick some really good deals. Yeah. In New York, it's almost virtually impossible to get a lead off the MLS unless it's a pocket listing that you're going to be able to buy, renovate, and make a decent profit at. Why? What's the reason? Because
the market's very saturated. It's
competitive. Everybody and their mother's bidding on foreclosures that are on the MLS.
Yeah. Our market's a little different, folks, and Billy's 100% right. And you're in other states. We're in a lot of mastermind groups, and we see a lot of guys. They do a lot of business off the MLS. But here, here's a little challenging.
It's different.
Surrounding states, Jersey, as well as it's
different.
Very, very competitive. There's a lot of people.
Not impossible.
Not impossible, but
if you're going to go fishing, you want to go fishing in a pond where there's a lot of fish.
Yeah, I like that.
Right now, you're going to go fishing on the MLS, and there's very little deals that are going to be able to yield the numbers that you're going to be able to make a deal with, right? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So instead of spending all your time, like I have a lot of young guys, I do, we have these meetup groups. I go, we speak, and then they call you afterwards and they pick your brain. And like, I've been making offers off the MLS. I'm not getting anything. It's because, look, you're fishing in the wrong pond. Yeah. There's no fish in that pond right now. Yeah. It's dead. So you have to go where the riches are. You want to go where the niches are to get rich. What does that mean? You want to focus on people that have situations, or you want to focus where the property has the situations. Let's speak about these. We'll speak broad, and then we'll go in deep. So what's a situation? Situation could be somebody passed away. That's a probate or an estate, right? These lists are readily available. You can buy them. You can procure them at the courts. You could work with realtors who have an in with the court system that get these listings prior to going on the MLS. You could work with and network with attorneys. Probates and estates are a killer list. No pun intended. The killer pun.
That's one way to put it there, Cal.
But it's a killer list. It is a killer list. It's a killer list because guess what? If somebody's inheriting the property and the people who are inheriting it are living out of state and there's no other spouse involved and the house is vacant, do you think that they're going to be willing? Do you think they have some level of motivation to sell their property?
Absolutely.
They're motivated.
Absolutely.
They're motivated. So if you have the ability to start target marketing people who are passed away, they're in probate, or they're going through an estate process, you have the ability then to start getting some really good deals. And again, you're not here to take advantage of anybody. You're here to solve a problem. Mm-hmm. That's the business we're in. People always ask us, what business are you in? You flip houses? No, we're in the business of solving problems. And the greater the problem you solve, the more money you're able to make. Remember that, guys. The greater the problem, the more money you're able to make. So become a problem solver. Now, getting back to the estates and the probates, it's one of the lists that we make a shit ton of profit off of. And it's because that most of these people who inherit that are living out of state, they don't want to be bothered with it. We've had cases in the past, dude, where we've taken just about all the contents in the property that were of value. We've packed it up and shipped it to the people down in Florida, down in North Carolina.
Yeah, notorious for that. Yep.
We do things above and beyond that normal people don't do in this business because it's a people business, people before profits, and we really take care of the sellers who are coming in. Yeah. The probates in the estate's the gold mine. We have anything to add to that?
Well, you know what? You just made a good point. Folks, if you put the seller's needs first, which Billy just mentioned, that's where you're going to get a deal. Don't think about the money first, and that's one thing we do and our team always does. We'll go above and beyond for those types of of out-of-state sellers, because this is a big deal. Somebody just died. So remember, you're marketing to people that are in, a very challenging situation with their family.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's so hard they can't even come back up here. I mean, as many times, like Billy has said, we have a professional company pack up the most important belongings and send them down to those states, could be Carolinas, Florida, California, wherever these types of people are. They don't even want to come back because it's just such an emotional hardship. So you got to remember, you handle it with kitten gloves, but put their needs first, and that's one thing we always do. We're always looking to close on their timeline, clear the title issues. I mean, sometimes we're dealing with some crazy family members, and we're mediators, and we're in between, and we're playing both sides. I mean, it just takes time.
Yeah.
And you got to handle those with
kid gloves.
The right care. And I think we pride ourselves on that. So if you're out there listening and you want to get into this business, please have the right integrity when you get into that. Treat the people right, because that's what we care about.
And it goes back to, you have to think about this. If you're going to start a marketing campaign, and there's guys out there that teach completely opposite of what I'm about to tell you, and this is just my view from experiences. If you're going to be marketing to somebody who just lost a loved one, the last thing you want to look like is a freaking ambulance chaser telling them, oh, my condolences for losing your father. By the way, we buy properties all cash. You want to sell it? That's horrible. It's cheesy. It's disgusting. Like, you're like a freaking ambulance chaser. You want to come across... Listen, you're in the business, obviously, to make money and to solve problems, but you don't want to go at them with the fact that, hey, I know your dad or your mom or your sister just died. You just want to send them a general letter or postcard that you're in the business of buying properties. They obviously have a situation. If you continuously send that letter or postcard, depending on where they're at with the seller continuum, you're going to get them at a time where they're like, you know what? We just got the probate done. I'm ready now to sell. I remember that postcard that came, and they might have 6 or 7 of them on their counter, and they'll pick it up and they will call you. But they will not if you're the ambulance chaser. I'm guaranteeing it. And ask me how I know. It's because when I first started 12 years ago, I sent a letter like that because I was taught by one of these gurus, and I have to tell you, I got a huge response and not one deal, because every single person who called me screamed at me, called me every freaking curse word in the book, and I'm like, what in the hell did I do wrong here? I realized afterwards it's not the right way to put it across at all, so you live and learn. Again, if I was afraid to start marketing and start to do something, I would have never learned, and I would have never figured out what actually gets me start going. So you have to take action in order to learn what works, what doesn't work, and then revise your plan as you go. Simple stuff. Easy, simple, no problem. So another niche, riches and niches. We just spoke about the vacants. The vacants are it's a gold mine. It's a gold mine of a list if you cultivate it the right way, and the dilapidated as well. I'm going to add both of those together. It's a niche. It's a niche that you could, if you're a solo practitioner, if you want to just get into this business, it's a niche that you could live comfortably on. You're going to have to work it. You're going to have to hustle. But if you work that list, I'm telling you, there's money. There's a gold mine. And guess what? It's an evergreen list, just like the probate and estate. People always pass. People's houses always become vacant. People always get divorced. These are niches that are going to allow you to grow and excel in the business that you're in. Vacants are I don't want to say killer again, but it's another killer list. It's a great list to make money on.
It's a great list.
You go deep on it and go wide. Pick a certain area. We also have a process. I'm going to elaborate. I'm not going to go so deep into it, but we have a way that we can get any zip code in America, any zip code in New York. We could find out exactly what houses are in that area, take it, scrub it through another database system, and we could pull out every single vacant on that list. And then we have a way to reverse merge and figure out from that vacant who passed, who's in foreclosure, who got divorced. We do all these data appends, and then before you know it, we have a gold mine of a list. We might only have 2,000 or 3,000 names, but those 2,000 or 3,000 names are like gold.
Motivated.
Highly motivated.
It's targeted down at the right niche.
Yep, exactly. Good stuff here. So next list that you have, riches and niches. What else can we do? Foreclosure. Now,
short sales and foreclosures. Yeah.
So, let's look at the foreclosure piece first and the shorts, because the shorts are a little bit of a different animal. New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, we still have a shit ton of foreclosures, and the challenge is you hit it. There are a lot of short sales in that list. I don't really want to get in so much on the short sale side because they are a pain in the ass to do. There's money in them, no doubt, but that's really your future bank, and it's really a specialty. If you're breaking into this industry now, I would not recommend getting into the short sale arena because it's complicated, it's a lot of work, and you're not going to see money 6 months to a year, maybe a year and a half down the road.
Not your now money, your later money.
That's your later money, exactly. Good way to put it. But there is money in the foreclosure side. So if I was going to get into this business now and I said I'm going to focus on foreclosures as my niche, I would go to Property Shark. Property Shark's a system. You guys can all go out there. You can get a subscription with Property Shark. It's going to cost a couple bucks a month. You can get every LP list pendants. That means when they first start the foreclosure process. And you can get every auction that's going to go on that week in that municipality. Mm-hmm. It's a gold mine of a list. You have to work it. You're not going to want to start making bids on properties that if they owe $500,000, the house is worth $250,000. That's a short sale. So you have to do some research. You're going to go into these foreclosure lists. You're going to start figuring out, okay, what's the upset price? What do I think this house is worth? You have to do some estimates of what you think it's going to cost to repair. Those are the ones you're going to want to go over, the ones with equity. And unfortunately, in the Northeast here, New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, there's a lot less that have equity than they do short sales. Right. I'm getting the cue that we have to go. I'm Billy Alvaro. This is my cousin Wayne Hartart. We are Easy Sell Property Solutions. We generally have this show geared towards sellers who want to sell their property. Today we're doing a little different. We're trying to teach you guys, if you want to get into this business, what it takes to break in to become a real estate investor in the Northeast. We'll be right back right after these messages. Welcome back, guys. This is Billy Alvaro, Wayne Hartart. We are Easy Sell Property Solutions. If you don't know us, you should. We are New York's #1 all-cash house buyer. You have a property you want to sell for cash? Call us 631-400-EASY or go to the website easysell411.com. The process is fast, easy, and hassle-free. We have a system called the Easy Way Out, and when I tell you, it literally is the fastest, easiest, most hassle-free way to sell your home. I'm not kidding. We have tons of testimonials. We have between 15 and 20 new clients a month where we're buying their properties. Our sole reason for existence is to solve problems and leave people in a better position than when they came in to see us. And we're doing that. We're taking over the market. We're taking market share. And more importantly, we're helping families all over the Northeast. And we're loving every second of it. Today's episode, what we're speaking about, not so much talking to the sellers of the property. We're really talking today about teaching people, if they want to get into this real estate investing business, what they need to do. And we're speaking about the riches and niches. We're basically pulling back the curtain and telling you what we do in our business, how we get our leads, what types of niches we're hitting. And why are we doing this? Because we don't believe in competition. There's so much business out there that we're willing to just pull back, stand there butt-ass naked, and let the world see us for who we are. Is that crazy? Oh, that's nuts, man.
But it makes people laugh.
It makes people laugh.
And we're real. It works.
Exactly it, man. We're as real as it gets. So listen, niches. I'm not even going to go cover what we covered in the first half. If you missed it, go onto the website, go to YouTube, look us up. You can find the first half of what we spoke about. Second half now, because you had a couple deals you wanted to go over. Let's go into another niche that we're going to cover in the second half here. If people want to get rich in this business, there's riches and niches. What's another one they could hit?
You know, folks, you could actually, we talked quite a little bit about it. Divorces. It's a big issue.
It's greater than 50% now.
I know. It's
greater than 50.
You got a better chance at ending than you do keeping it going.
Sick.
It's amazing what happens. People
Craziness.
going into relationships. And unfortunately, that's another one. I mean, we touched on the probates. Divorces are another issue. You're dealing with two sellers that are going to be usually fighting tooth and nail towards the end. But they need to sell the house, and sometimes they need to move quick.
Yeah.
So make relationships with divorce attorneys. That's a great key if you're out there networking. We kind of talked about that for a second at the beginning, in the first section. It's important. It's important. Divorce is happening all day. We buy a lot of divorce properties.
Yeah. It's sticky situations.
Yeah, they are, because we're mediating both sides. Sometimes we can't put them in the same closing room. It gets challenging.
It gets challenging for sure. And you just need to know that when you're dealing with two sellers like that, you can't play sides. You just got to play nice, because you don't want to have the husband or the wife thinking you're playing favorites. You got to go in and you just have to take care of the situation like a professional.
Yeah. Well, sometimes we look like that movie. What is it? Wedding Crashers, where we're like Vince Vaughn and the other guy dumping about and our guys are in the office and they're like, don't worry, we'll take some miles. We'll take some miles. I mean, it's that way, but it works. And you're solving their problems. As long as everybody's on the same page, the goal is to really ultimately get rid of the house.
There are companies out there that do sell lists. They data mine all the databases, and they find out who filed for divorce. You could go about finding that list and attacking it and then sending it out. Here's the deal. With all these niches that we're saying that we're going after, it's not like you're going to have 40, 50, 60, 70,000 names on any one of these lists. These are niche lists. So these are going to be very small micro lists, but you have the potential of making really big profits off a very small list. So you need to work it the right way. Don't get discouraged when flipping back when we were speaking about probates or estates, where you're only seeing 400 names on a list for the month. Doesn't matter. You have to work the list the right way. It's the same thing my cousin's alluding to right now with the divorces. You're not going to get, there's a lot of people getting divorced, but not everybody owns a house.
Yeah.
A lot of people rent. Yeah. So you're not going to be going after those, especially people with probate too. Not everybody that dies has an estate, has real property. They might own a car, but not a house. So when you're going after these lists, realize it's not the quantity of people on it. It's the quality. It's the quality. You're going to be going deep into a niche that you're going to have the possibilities of really helping those sellers out, helping out those sellers, and putting yourself in a position to make a nice, handsome profit at the same time. Right?
Yeah, very good. How about another list? I mean, this is a challenging one. It's a big one for the elderly here. Tax liens on Long Island. Folks, you know, in
all
other
over
parts
America.
of the country, the taxes aren't as insane as they are here. But we all know New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, we pay some very, very high taxes. And there's a lot of people that cannot afford to live here. And how many times have people come to us literally on the last leg, elderly couples or people that just can't afford to live here? Upside down, folks. And, you know, if you're out there listening, a tax lien, remember, tax lien supersedes your mortgage.
It supersedes everything.
Everything. It's the mother of all mothers.
You can't get away. Taxes, you know, you're going to die with, you're not going to die without paying. Somebody's paying those taxes.
Somebody's paying those taxes. And there's many people come to us where their house is being taken away. And think about that. 30, you raised your kids. You had all the memories in that house. And now you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s. And you have no mortgage on the house. And you haven't been able to pay your taxes. You can't keep up. It's very expensive to live here on Long Island. And you're about to lose your house to the tax man.
There's money in that list, and it's a very difficult list to cultivate and create and put together. But I can tell you this, that if you, with any one of these lists, if you go in deep on it and you master it, there's money in those lists. Now, my cousin was just saying about elderly people and, you know, they're behind on their taxes. They might not even have a mortgage, but they might be losing their property for foreclosure due to back taxes. We just recently picked up a property last week, and this was a very different situation. Like, we haven't done a deal like this in the past. We're probably going to be doing more of these in the future. Risky on our end because we're putting out a large sum of cash today, and we're not going to see a return for maybe 10 or 15 years on this one property.
Oh,
you know, I'm talking about that one deal. So we had just to give you an idea of what we're speaking about. Sometimes it's not just about making a quick buck and going in and buying a property and renovating it, turning over and selling it. Sometimes, as in the case I'm going to speak about now, sometimes there's a seller that has no family at all. They have nobody. They might be an elderly person who has their wits, they have their togetherness, they have a strict, you know, income coming in, but they can't afford to live in the property. Now, in that situation, if it's free and clear, obviously the most logical thing they can do is to go out and get a reverse mortgage. If they want to stay in their home, they don't want to lose it, they don't want to sell it, they want to keep it, the most logical thing they can do is a reverse. Yep. We had an elderly lady, 74 years old, in the Hamptons, contacted us with the exact same scenario. She was behind 4 years in her taxes. They were taking her property for back taxes. Her husband left. She had no kids. She had no family, no nieces, no nephews. She has nobody. But she didn't want to sell. And we're in the business of buying properties. We're an investment company. We're not here to refinance. We don't loan money. We're in the business of buying properties. So when she came to us with the situation, the first thing I said is, we're here to solve problems. We're not here to take advantage. The first thing I said to my sales team, go back to her and instruct her to put in and go get a reverse mortgage. It's the best thing for her to do. She did it. She tried. 6 months later, the reverse mortgage company was dragging her out. And the reason being is they looked at it as a foreclosure bailout because she was behind on her taxes. It was a disaster. The house needed a lot of work. There was a problem in the basement with water damage. The roof was all ripped up. She was distressed. She didn't know what to do. She was really scared, to say the least. She did not want to lose her home. And if she did lose her home, or she was forced to sell it, she's like, I'm going to be living in my car. Just think about this. 74 years old. This could be your grandmother. This could be your mother. It just touches your freaking heart, dude. Like, what do you do in a situation like that? So we got together as a team. We collaborated. We had 4 minds that came together, and we said, what can we do to help this lady? And we brainstormed a bunch of different things. The bottom line we came up with, which it's really a good deal for her. It's going to be a good deal for us so many years down the road. But this is a give back. This is something that we said, you know what? We can help this lady out, keep her in her home, and make sure she has a roof over her head until she passes. And what we did is we bought the property, but we allowed her to stay there in a life estate forever until she passes. I want you to think, this lady's 74. With modern medicine, she could live to be 100. We could have this property for the next 26 years and not see a dollar out of it. We invested a nice chunk of cash, but it's a give back, dude. Like, that lady is going to have a roof over her head and not have to worry about anything. And listen, we did get a very good deal in the future.
Yeah.
We're not going to get that deal anytime today. Mm-hmm. But so full circle, lots of money in the tax lien business. There's lots of money in the niches, but it comes down to really doing the right thing by the seller. And that deal wouldn't have been a deal for anybody else. It was a deal for us because we saw a problem and we solved it. And we came together as a group and we all put in money and we said, this is what we're going to do to help this lady. And we'll all reap the rewards down the road. But today, this is her turn to live and live comfortably. It's a great story.
It's actually a great story. And it's a test to what our team is doing, Bill, because we get very, very creative in solving these problems because every one of their problems is an area of opportunity. And that's the way we're looking at it. And that goes back to the first part of the segment where you said, don't go in like a shark. Don't go in like an ambulance chaser.
No way.
Like the first thing we said to her was, go get the reverse mortgage.
We advised her. We acted as an advisor.
That type of condition and a few things that she didn't disclose at the beginning, that led her to believe she couldn't get the reverse. But obviously, if she came to us and said what she said to us, get the reverse. We wouldn't have made any money. But we were pointing her in the right direction.
But we would have helped her.
Yeah.
It would have been a help.
And that comes back to every deal that we talk about. Listen, if we can't help you, we try to part as friends. And most of the times when we do part as friends, somebody comes back to us a year or two later, but we always steer you in the right direction. If you feel that's a better fit for you, great. If not, call us then.
Absolutely.
And that's the way we look at it. And it worked out. The woman was very, very happy.
Yeah, I have her on video.
Yeah,
I sat there. I was sick as
very,
a dog
very
on
creative,
Friday.
But when 4 or 5 meeting of the minds come together and say, what could you do for this to try to make a deal somehow? It's a win-win for everyone.
The whole team pulled together. I mean, from the guys in the front end to myself and my partner to Justin as the manager, like every single person, the attorneys that were involved, like everybody just really crossed their T's, dotted their I's, and made sure that the seller was well aware and taken care of, and she was put in a better position. And so, full circle, riches and niches, tax liens, delinquent taxes, definitely money in it. The next list you guys can focus on, this is a big one, is burned out landlords. Yeah. Look, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, his whole thing, and I'm in agreement with him. You make chunks of cash with flipping properties. Chunks, it's great, chunks of cash, but you get wealthy when you invest that money in long-term assets and it yields you cash-on-cash return for life, right? Mailbox money, which in most cases is buying rental properties. But what happens is if people go into the rental business and they really don't treat it like a business, they treat it like a little side gig, and they don't really have systems and processes, and they don't really cross their T's and dot their I's. They don't have a process for interviewing the prospective tenants and for inspecting the properties. They get themselves in trouble. And myself and my cousin, I can attest, this has been a list. Like I'm just ripping it out right now. I'm telling people. This has been a list that has made us hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Burned out landlords is a big thing, especially in New York. Why? Because the laws are so freaking skewed towards the tenants. They have the landlords, and now with the new laws that just came out, landlords, they're handcuffed behind their back, and people are just cracking them in the face left and right. Uppercuts. It's horrible. If you don't know what you're doing, and you're in New York and you're a landlord, learn fast or sell your portfolio because they're coming. It's horrendous on what's going on with the whole landlord-tenant acts in the state of New York. But that niche, that list, phenomenal. It is a killer list because think about it. You can get one landlord who has 14, 15 properties who's done.
Got a whole portfolio, yeah.
Right? I mean, you could have one landlord who has a portfolio. He's like, look, I'm done. And most of the properties are going to have problems. They're going to have problem tenants. They're going to have disarray with the roofing and the siding and the windows, and shit's going to need to get done. You'll buy these. You're not going to steal the properties because these are investors that know what they're doing, but you're going to buy them at an attractive number. You can buy a little portfolio, renovate them, and then you can either keep it in your portfolio for cash flow, or you can turn around and sell it to another long-term buy and hold guy who wants to have cash flow for life.
Yeah.
It's a great list.
No, it's a great list. And folks, if you're out there and you have a property like that and you're looking to sell, what's different about us is many investors, or I would say 90% of them on Long Island, we're one of the few that will buy with the burnt out. We'll buy it with the tenants in there. And most people, investors, will not. We do it a lot. We help a lot of people.
Full disclosure on that. I would not advise a new guy to go out there and start buying these properties with tenants who aren't paying because you will get your ass reamed.
Be careful there. But we have a system. We have attorneys. We've been doing evictions for quite some time, and we do have the proper procedures in our office that we handle them. And we take a lot of properties off of people with some some crazy people living in them.
Yeah, nuts.
It's
Nuts. I
and
mean, we've had guns pulled on us. We've had, it's been bats pulled on us.
Crime scenes in some of the houses.
Crime scenes,
shut down. Cops
bad.
coming in, the DEA running in houses. I mean, we bought some rough houses, but we've got it, and we have the proper systems to do it. So, folks, if you're out there and you have a property that you're looking to sell, and you're just burnt out with these people living in the houses, give us a call. Pick it up. 631-400-EASY.
Yeah.
Let our guys take a look at it, come out and see what we can do, because we typically will take those properties off your hands.
Absolutely. I mean, this show today is about teaching people how to get into this real estate investing business. But let's face it, we're buying properties all day. So if you're out there in Radio Land and you have a property that you're looking to sell, whatever your situation is, and we're going over a lot of these niches that may apply to you. You may be going through a divorce today. You're going through a divorce, call us, 631-400-EASY. We'll make you an offer in your house. Maybe you just inherited a property, probate, estate. You have a property you just inherited, you don't want to deal with it, call us, 631-400-EASY, or go to the website, easysell411.com. That's easysell, E-A-S-Y, sell411.com. You have a house maybe that's in foreclosure, a vacant property that you left. Whatever your situation is, give us a call, 631-400-EASY. We will solve the problem, and if we can't, we'll point you in the right direction. We'll give you the information that you need. We will connect you with a non-for-profit. Whatever we need to do, it's not just about buying homes. It's about solving problems, creating relationships, and down the road, maybe we can kick up where we left off and we can buy your house down. And if not, we just part as friends. It's simple as that.
Yeah, that's the way it should always be.
What are the niches we have there, cuz?
COs and violation lists, another good one.
Big one.
Yeah.
Big one, especially in Long Island.
Especially in Long Island. So, folks, if you're out there, there's a lot of people that just decided to tear their houses apart, put second stories on, add extensions, put illegal apartments, whatever it may be. There's a whole list of those types of properties where there's major CO issues, and then there's also violations.
So the violations is a big thing.
Yeah.
The violations in any state, it's a big thing. But here's the complaint you're going to get, right? Because I had students that tell me, they went down to the town and they said, I'm trying to find a list of houses that are either boarded up or that have violations for X. And the town person's going to tell you, I'm sorry, sir, there's no such list. It's not readily available.
Gotta love that one.
So you have to be tenacious enough. You have to know when they say no, it really means that they either don't know or they're using a power trip to try to tell you you're not going to get it. You have the right to get that list. You have to continuously press. If not them, go to somebody else. Find a way. I can't go over the municipalities because every single place is different. So you have to find out exactly what you need to do in that municipality. But if you get a no and you stop and say this doesn't work, you're a fool. Because I'm telling you, you're going to get at least 10 no's when you try to go in there to get the violation. When you first started, you got like 15 or 20.
Yeah.
And then you finally found that
Figured
one person.
One person.
You knew exactly what to write on that request, and you got the list.
And then I got them all. And usually you can mock that in every other town. But, folks, that's like anything in life. You can get no's and you get a roadblock right in front of you. You're going to go through that roadblock, up and around it, or what are you going to do? I mean, are you going to stop right there? I mean, we're notorious. I'll go up and around it. We'll knock it down.
Yo, we have an expression in the office. It's whatever it takes. You're going to do whatever it takes to make the deal happen.
Yeah, so you can't be the person to walk up to a counter and say, "Oh no, sorry, sir, we don't have that list," and turn around. That's not the tenacious person that's going to make money.
Correct.
That's not the entrepreneur. That's not the guy that wants to make a side hustle. You got to realize
Correct.
that there's always going to be somebody that's going to push you to the side, especially when you go to the towns.
Yo, get used to hearing no. Get used to hearing no. Get used to hearing it can't happen. It's never going to happen. Nobody's going to give you that list. I'm sorry, it's unavailable. When they say no, smile and say, I'm one step closer to a yes.
Yeah.
Because it's just like buying properties. You're going to get 10 no's before you get an appointment.
You're
going to have an appointment. You're going to have 10 appointments. You're going to get 10 no's to your offer, and then you're going to get one deal. It's a freaking numbers game. This is not rocket science. This is easy. It's you taking action on a daily basis in a consistent manner and making shit happen. It's not going to happen by itself. There's no lead lawyer upstairs who's going to just drop piles of crap on your pocket every single day and say, "Hey, here's the contracts. You don't have to do any work. Just everything's good." It's not going to happen like that. You got to work. You got to make shit happen. So pull up your pants, put your big boy britches on, get out there, and start making deals happen. Now, if you're on the flip side and you're looking to sell your property, by all means, we can definitely help you, your family, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your sisters, your brothers, whoever it is. Call us at the office, 631-400-EASY. Go to the website, easysell411.com. Look, we're not just two handsome guys on the radio. I mean, we really do take care of the clients that are out there. We're fun. We have a great office. More importantly, we take care of the sellers. Our goal is when you come in to leave you when we do business in a better position than when you came in and see us.
There you go.
That's the bottom friggin' line. And if we can't, I'm telling you, we will part as friends. Part as friends. We have 2.5 minutes left. You want to hit one more niche?
Fire damage.
Boom. That's a small list.
Small,
big money.
But big money on those.
Big money, man.
Big money.
So fire damage. How do you get fire damage leads? We have a whole little thing figured out that we're not going to speak about on the radio because it took us a lot of time, money.
It's a little stealth on that one.
Little stealth. But I'm going to tell you this. You could network with adjusters, right? Public adjusters, people who get calls for insurance agencies. You could negotiate and speak with fire departments. Yeah. I mean, there's many ways that you can start figuring out how to get into and start being one of the first to the fire damage properties. But I can tell you, again, micro list. This sucker's going to be small. I'm talking like eensy small. Couple of names a month, couple of addresses a month, maybe 15, 20, 25 at tops. Tops, depending on how big your metropolitan area is. But I can tell you this, do you think somebody who just had their house go up in flames, do you think they're going to be motivated? Maybe they just don't want to be bothered living there. They get the insurance money. They'd be willing to make a deal with you at a really good, attractive price. I can tell you it happens every single freaking day.
Yep.
Every day.
No, it does. Folks, if you're out there listening.
Micro list. Big numbers.
If you're thinking about that, because how many times have people brought that to attention? We're like, all right, if it was a house and it went on fire, then they're going to want to keep it. Many times, a lot of times,
they're out.
Like, you know what? It's a sign for me to hit the road. I'm going down to Florida. I'm out. It happened for a reason. It was God's call, whatever it may be. And they're like, I'm out. They come to us. You're right. It's an attractive number, and we'll tear the thing apart and rebuild it.
Sometimes we scrape right down to the ground and rebuild. Other times, it's just a complete regut.
We just recently did that. Yeah, it's
good stuff.
It's a good list, folks. But you know what? You just touched on one thing. Think about all the people, folks, when you're looking at all these niches that are involved. You said, all right, you said maybe fire department. You said adjusters. Folks, every one of these lists always have 4 or 5 people that are in that part of the business that are always handling things. Start taking the blinders off and think outside the box when you start making money.
This has been a phenomenal show. I hope you guys got value. A little bit different from what we usually do. We're not out there trying to buy people's houses, even though we are. Easy Sell Property Solutions, easysell411.com. But we added value today to show you if you're out there and you want to get into this business, it's 100% possible. You just need the information. And more importantly, I don't care how much information you have, you need to take freaking action. Make it happen. I'm Billy Alvaro, my cousin Wayne Hartart. We are Easy Sell Property Solutions. Online, easysell411.com, by phone, 631-400-EASY. We're out.